my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Help!
Here,
Oh,
take my hand.
come
on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me.
Take it. Take my hand.
America, America.
Fuck yeah! Come out again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America! Fuck yeah!
Freedom is the only way, yeah.
Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America! Fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck on my balls, America! Fuck yeah!
Happy July 4th, everyone. Finally, this thing is starting. I know, right? I just thought, yesterday was a bit of a weird one for me because I was actually on the phone to my boss at work while the stream was live. I was playing videos. I was just like, I want to try out some new times. It's early morning for me, 7 o'clock. So yeah, I love that clip. I wanted to get a longer one. I'm worried about playing it, but I love the one where it's like all the things like Walmart. Oh, yeah, damn it. But I tried to download it and it wouldn't work. But hope you're all doing well on the 4th of July, enjoying your independence, your freedom, all that good stuff. I'm down here in the land of communists, just doing what I do. Look, B-Rose in the house. What an honor. What an absolute honor. Jolly Green came in first. We'll stand on tradition. We'll put him in there. Oh, hang on. I tried to put him in and it said I got too many files. What do I get rid of? What can I get rid of? Don't want to get rid of that. There's nothing really I want to get rid of. I suppose I have to. No. All right, maybe we'll get rid of that. Had that one for a while. Dave Brink, what's up, man? Dave, we have decided on a date for the launch of his new books, the new Perfect 10. And what was the other one, Dave? He's got side books now. He's big time. That'll be happening on the 26th US time, my 27th. So, of this month. Very exciting stuff. Looking forward to it. All right, there we go. Now you have pride of place, Jolly Green. Your first is honored. Consider itself. We got Creative WM in the house. What is up, my friend, the Skibbity Rizzler? I mean, these are all last night. They're probably not still here. I'll shout them out, though. Dal says, Australia colonized because British could no longer dump their unwanted people in North America after the revolution. You're welcome, Bogans. You think that's what happened? The sun never set. There was a time when the sun never set on the British Empire. I think they were just all about colonizing everywhere. But I don't feel like that's what happened. I don't feel like you guys got convicts dumped on your shores, did you? I felt it was like people who wanted to move there. They wanted to move to the new world. He says it's true. Look it up. Well, thank you. Thank you for 1788 First Prison Colony. All right. Well, thank you for doing it. It seems like our countries are intricately entwined, our histories. Nathan Paul says, pull some cocks out, celebrating independence. Hell yeah, Jeff Stoller's in the house. Snark and Mo Biggs got into it earlier. They were debating the, he says, envy us and wish Danny would shine his light upon your cucked nation. Where's Snarkticon from? Is Snarkticon British? What is going on here? That's why he's what I don't know what's happening. But anyway, Hal to Snark, Hal to Mo Biggs, the Golden Wrench himself. Soon to get another wrench too. Wrenchy, sorry. Maybe he is America. He says America. Indiana. All right. Maybe he was talking to me. We got Sumo Thori in the house. We do have a cuck nation down here. It's quite pathetic. Don't know what to do about it. Very unbecoming of Australian men to let it get to this. You take my small hand. Finally, this thing is starting. I know, right? There he is, Mr. B Rose. What up, B Rose? He always says I need to reach out and chat with you, but he never does. Maybe I need to do that. I need to meet him in the middle. Frederick Guimont. Frederick Guimont says, "How from Canada? No freedom inside here. We are brothers in arms with Canada at the moment. Everything becoming communist." 11 p.m. for Jonas. Well, yeah, I'm trying out a new time. I don't know. We got people in here. Yeah, we got 24 people in here. Nice. Power Trip 2. Thank you, Dave. That was it. That was it. Lots were dumped in Georgia. I had no idea. It's like I'm pretty. What's the word? Au fait. I'm pretty across on American history, but I didn't know that. It says Thomas Sowell actually has a good video about the poor whites who were descendants of those Brits and less desirable hires than black folks in the early 1900s. Well, I do like listening to some Thomas Sowell. Another American treasure. All right. We're live. I hope we're live on Rumble as well. I'm not seeing the Rumble gang, but this is a strange time to be doing this. So maybe it'll take some time. I want to make this a weekly thing, I think. As long as I can remember to get up. But I feel bright. I feel alert. I feel like it's a good time. Soul is so awesome. Yeah, when he goes, that'll be a... They literally do not make them like that anymore. Like if you listen to his history and how he grew up and everything, they just, like Larry Elder, they just don't make them like that anymore. When I say make, I mean they don't raise them like that anymore. Finally, a normal streaming time, says Dave. Yes. I like it. Plus it's always stressful to me to do it while I'm at work, you know? I mean, my work does usually leave me alone quite a lot, but sometimes they do need me. And anyway, I wanted to show you guys something before I get started here. What is this all about? So, as we are entering the beginning of fulfillment, you guys have seen I've been starting to pack things, getting pre-ready and everything. Obviously, I don't have the books yet. Actually, I still have to pull the trigger on the final approval. I got the proofs almost a week ago, and I've been going through them. Found a couple of small things. I wanted to make the hair on the cover a bit red, but that was all in Painted Death. And in the hardcover for Waking Dream, I did make a mistake in the layout. So on one page, I'll have to fix that. But I'm gonna send him those files today and tell him. He said, tell me when you want to pull the trigger. And I will be. I'll be saying, pull that trigger, Mr. Printer Man. Jasper in the house. What up, Jasper? Great to see you here. And Buddha Bear and Reese. Can't stay. It's got an hour left at work. Well, good luck for your last hour, sir. Make it a good one. We need Rush Limbaugh back. Tucker is still a far second to Rush. Tucker has time. Tucker's just starting out. He's sort of like, he's new to this, voice of the nation thing. 1 like equals 1 musket ball. There you go. Send it in there. We got Edwin in the house. So yeah. I feel like I need to start talking about Fractured Mind. Look at this. Lucent Fractured Mind. Ella Forsyth spends her dreams fighting through the nightmares in her mind, looking for something. What that is, she couldn't say. Until one night, she's always being visited. I wrote that on the back of Painted Death, too. Oh, well. She's being visited in her dreams. It's just, it's a strange occurrence. She's visited by a stranger who opens the door to more than she ever bargained for. So I've set up a mailing list. I'll probably put a mailing list, like a sign up on Indiegogo as well. Join the mailing list. You know what I've decided to do? Not many people do this, and I think it's probably sensible. Early bird discount, I think. So if you're on the mailing list, and I can do it because I got my own site, I'll send out a coupon code. It'll probably be unique to you that you can use for a limited time once the campaign goes live. I don't know how much it'll be, but it'll be something. And I realize I need to start telling people what this is, because I put this out and there's people on Twitter, James Murphy, one of them, saying, "What is this?" And I feel like I've spoken about this 100 times, but how many people in here? 32. Excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah, more people backed Lucent than 32 people, so they need to know. Like a guy in his room. What is this? Is this a sequel or a side story? It's a side story. It's a one shot. It's an action one shot. So it is an action comic. But it's Lucent action. So there's weird stuff happening. Things twisting and turning and strangeness. It all occurs in a dream, which normally wouldn't be much of a thing, except in the world of the Lucent, dreams do have significance. It's not one of those instances where if you die in a dream, you die. It's not like that. It's more like things get opened in your mind. You meet people, and these people are real. They're important. You'll find all this out in Painted Death and going forward. So it's time I start talking about this. It's drawn by Rod Looper. It's being drawn. We still have a few pages left to go on this. So I'm going to get back to Rod, actually, because I said to him, "I'm sorry, Rod, I really can't focus on anything Fractured Mind until I have Painted Death done and in the can." Well, now's the time. Get back into it, because we're about to head into fulfillment momentarily. So sneak this in the middle. Rumor has it Groper Joe will resign Monday. Yeah, well, that's what Trump said. He didn't say that. We got Buddha about, "Hey, Bancroft, do you call today Prisoner's Day or Inhabitants Day?" We don't celebrate 4th of July down here, but in spirit, I celebrate with you your independence. I'm a big America-phile. I love America. The idea of it. I've only been there once. It was amazing. It was great. I want to come back. I wish I could come back every year. It's unfortunately very expensive to get over there. Will there be panty sniffing in Fractured Mind? There will be no panty sniffing, but there will be ample panty shots. Now, I didn't ask for this in the script, but Rod is a man who likes. Do we have any? Even here, look. Even here. I mean, there's a shadow on it, but the man, I don't know what he likes that viewpoint. He likes to, spread the legs and get that. Yeah, Mo has it right. Don't give up, Joe. Stand your ground. Exactly. Tim Pool is like that. He's like, "I'm out here to support Joe Biden and his run for president." I don't know. What can I do? It's like I said, it's not Independence Day here. That cover reminds me of Carmen Sandiego, but it's not a cover, it's just a panel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the hat a little, just going to make it a rounded hat at the top. I know it's a bit Carmen Sandiego, but essentially what it is I had her showing like this on this cover here. This, where is it? How do I go full screen? Yeah, it's the same outfit, except she has a hat. But yeah, I think it's probably wise to where in the world is Ella Forsyth? This is how she sort of pictures herself, if you know what I mean. Jasper Plan 9, $20. Oh my god. Thank you so much, sir. You know what? $20. You get one of these.
You little ripper!
Yeah, the hat is okay. It's okay, but actually when I look back at what I was looking at when I was kind of conceptualizing this outfit, I was looking at hats that were rounded. I don't know why we went with this kind of Carmen Sandiego style. It's not a big change. She's wearing it for like I'm going to say 10 pages or so, and then it gets knocked off in battle. And then we don't see it again. But I do want to show her in it later on in the main book. So I want to make sure I'm happy with it, whatever it is. Sorry, I can't at eating. What's going on with CG? We must course correct, Ambassador. Stream more. Mother F. I rely on you as a historian, Mike. Google autocorrect sucks. There's lots happening in CG. There's sort of like fractioning. People are not happy with the sort of trash cast direction. Others are happy with that. Others are doing their own thing. Others are unhappy with other people, calling people out. I don't know. I've been, as you know, I've been focused on my book essentially. You know, as far as I don't know, I've been streaming almost the same amount. It's just, you know, it's kind of get lost in noise. A lot of people are talking about big drama things like what's happening with Eric July or Dr. Disrespect, all that. I mean, you know, I'm not interested in any of that. So I don't know. Like I see a lot of people who just kind of want to focus on comics or focus on their book or whatever, or promote other comics. They kind of get lost in the shuffle at the moment, but that's what it is. But I will always be here to be a historian. I do pay attention as much as I can. I do miss things though. But yeah, there's a bit of bad blood in the water at the moment. You can't deny it. Especially between, you know, Ethan and the slums and all that. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're just going to continue on, I think. He says he's watching Jaws with the fam. I haven't seen that movie in forever. Still holds up. Great movie. We find out what it's like to grow up in Paris, then come across a mysterious bogan. Well, Ella lives in England, so I'm not going to say that there's not going to be any Frenchness in this comic. There may very well be. Mobig points out that Rod is a man of the people. He is indeed. The great Rod Looper. In Rod we trust. All right, what are you guys saying? I'm supposed to be working, but I just don't want to miss anything here. We always have the safe harbor of the Bancroft Gulf. Why is Forsyth not capitalized here? Because I just did slap this together very quickly. I will go change that, Sumo. That's my bad. Yeah, see, a guy in his room says, just say it, Bancroft. Ethan ruined CG. It's all his fault. There's that opinion out there. You know, I'm a dirty fence sitter. I've gone in his room. I didn't say anything. I'm like the watcher. I just sit and watch. The drama will always win until people figure out a way to make complaining about the drama entertaining instead of annoying. Yeah, see, there's that as well. There's like the drama, and then there's complaining about the drama. I like a making my book. So I don't want to dislike people. I try to like everyone. That's just my personality, but you know, it becomes difficult sometimes. Planet Tobor TV says, howdy. My friend, how are you? For those of you who don't know, Planet Tobor, man, we go way back in years, for years. Very talented game designer and Stanley impersonator himself, Mr. Planet Tobor. Bancroft likes to nestle the fence between his cheeks. I don't know what that means. By showing my comment, you took a side, Michael. Fence sitting cancelled. I think everyone is aware that there are large parts of, I didn't know if they even consider themselves Communist Gate anymore. So contingent. It would openly against it now. So, and that never really bothered me. I never, you know, I was never one of those people that's like, you have to be, you know, in locks. Never, you know. All right. Yeah, I agree with that. I have friends with different opinions. Exactly. I don't require anyone that I'm friendly with to agree with anyone else. And you see that like sometimes like, you promote one guy and then a week later you're promoting another guy, and then you go on Twitter and they're just like, they hate each other. That's how it has to be. Yeah. Whatever. I think you just can't take it too seriously. I try not to. Life is too short and comics are too cool. And I especially, I'm not going to let any of that like come and wash over my book that I've worked so hard on. So, Mr. Nolan Lockhart, wow, you guys are being incredibly generous today. I look forward to the Fractured Mind documentary, the making of and relationship exploration of you and Rod, aptly named the Lucent Ruptured Hind. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It's $20 too, so I have to thank him. Thank you very much, Nolan, for that. Expertly written. Moses, that was a good one, Nolan.
Absolute mad lad.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm supposed to be working. It's my time to work. It's already 7:30 here, so I'm going to stop sharing that. You know what? I'm going to put this, even though Forsyth is in lowercase, I'm going to put this here. So essentially what I want to do is I want to just document the making of Fractured Mind as I lead up to the campaign for Fractured Mind. That's what these shows are going to be. They're probably going to be a weekly show, or just whatever I'm doing at the time. Currently right now, I'm flatting. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be hanging out. We'll be flatting, much like when I was drawing Painted Death, then coloring Painted Death. I had fun with those shows, and I plan to continue that. It's still working on my similar but legally distinct book, The Lucent. I look forward to it, 40% said. I do love a parody. So we were on this one yesterday. Right. And as you can see, I did a little bit more, not much, but just nearly finished. You'll be happy to know, Mo, I was watching The Next Generation again last night while I was working on this. I tell you what, that Riker fella, the kids call it the Riz now, game. He invented it back in the early 90s. That show was out, maybe late 80s. They get this group of people onto the ship, and there's this hot woman, and Riker is being Riker. He's like stunned by her beauty, and she looks at him. She's like, "What?" She's supposed to be this Irish person. She's like, "What? Haven't you ever seen a woman before?" And he's like, "I thought I had." I like that. Ladies' man. Is that supposed to be a fallen crane? I guess it's like the horizontal part of a crane, Jim. The cool thing about this book is nothing really, like, in terms of how it is. It's all supposed to be a bit ethereal, dreamlike. It's all a reflection of Ella's psyche. So everything that happens in it, up to a point, you can look at it through that lens. And hopefully in the narration, I'll sort of make that clear. What is Rob doing nowadays, by the way? He's still working on comics. We talked a little bit about Rob yesterday. He has a really bad back. And when I say that, I don't just mean like he's got a sore back. So he can't show, like he's got a really bad back. So yeah, he can't even really stream. So I don't think he'll be appearing on Camel Knights again. I don't know his future. Like it's kind of up in the air. So yeah, unfortunately that's kind of where it's at with Rob at the moment. But occasionally he'll send me some stuff through. He sent me a page like in a DM, and it was actually one of the best pages I've seen in a Replicator book. So he's still working on it, but I just don't know, you know. Chuck says, good plan, Bancroft. Don't use the story to hide any art mistakes. So use the story. Yes, exactly. Well, look, here's what I figured. Here's what I learned when working with Rod, because obviously I'd never written a script before to send to, you know, someone else. And I realized that you have a vision. When I write the script, I have a vision inside my head of what it looks like. And then I describe that as best I can to Rod. And then he kind of goes away and just sort of does his own thing. And I can, if it's really not what I was thinking at all, I can, you know, go back to him and say, no, I need it to be more like this. But I mean, most of the time it's like, it's a collaborative thing. So, you know, when you hire an artist, that's what you get. You don't just get to, you're not just getting like a robot to put your things down on the page. It's like he's putting in his input as well. So a detachable rod, if you will, says Alex. Maybe, yeah. Mo says his back is worn out from carrying that gargantuan skull. Could be. I think he's always had back problems, but you know, I knew they were bad, and I knew he, you know, he have to like take painkillers and stuff for it from time to time, but I don't really know, you know, how bad it was. I forgot that was a pill there. So yeah, hopefully he'll be back into it. And as well, Rob was really into the whole kind of camaraderie and everything of the scene, and you know, he just sort of felt like that was kind of going away a bit, and so he sort of retreated from that. And but he was here not too long ago, and he seemed in good spirits, so you know, maybe he'll be back. He's obviously welcome back here whenever he wants. I think Rob and I had great chemistry on stream. You know, we had a great rapport. I think everyone used to love his show, where he would just ask dumb questions and try to get me into uncomfortable positions. They were fun, but you know, all good things must come to an end, and you know, things evolve and move on. I think that's where we're at. Marcus says, you think CG is bad? Try Sports Fans. The worst. Did the wheel break Rob? Maybe it. See, the wheel was great, and that was his idea. And he kind of pulled me along, kicking and screaming. I was like, why would we do this? He was 100% right on that. You know, I give him full credit to that. He was right about the wheel was a lot of fun, and I think that sort of thing is probably what would bring him back. But God knows I haven't had the time to do anything like set up and run anything like that of late. You know, I barely have enough time to get the work that I need done in the time I need it done. We're not getting any younger over here. But the wheel was good. Uncomfortable positions like the hetero, says Skibidi Rizla. Exactly. You know, weird things. Unnatural things. Also, I mean, YouTube is crazy. I don't know if you guys have noticed. YouTube is fucking crazy. It is full of crazy people doing crazy things, massive egos, you know, people chasing viewers and clicks and clout and all that nonsense. And it's not for everyone. It's not like that sort of stuff isn't even really for me, but I just sort of ignore that. I try to. I mean, you can't really ignore it, but I try to. I tell you, God knows when you do a little bit of art on YouTube, you got to be ready for it. I've noticed that as well. You know, everyone's a critic, which is fine. It's actually a good thing, even though it might sting at the start. It's actually the best thing for your art, really, because people will tell you what they think. Rob is always funny and entertaining. I agree. He played just whatever his personality is, and he's not like playing a character at anything. It just that's how he is. And he was like a full-on Loki type character. He really did like, you know, causing issues. He's like a Joker. Why isn't my thing? Oh, my thing hadn't updated in ages. I'm like, why isn't the chat moving anymore? All right, now it's moving again. Sumo says, Camel probably knows the positions Bancroft is most comfortable in. Mo says, you should have known Rob was right about the wheel when I supported it. That's true. I should have. The wheel 2.0 will be Rob's magnum opus. Yeah, the fact that how he made it, it was duct taped together, and you know, he had clips, and it was made of a fan that he ripped the top off, and it wobbled and didn't. You remember when it spun and then it went back? And he had to hold on to it, and everyone called shenanigans, rightfully so. Jeff says, Mike, lean into it, stay the course. Whoever leaves was never there to begin with. Yeah, I'm not going anyway. I enjoy it because I don't take any of it too seriously at all. You know, it can get serious, and it, you know, that can annoy me, but you know, it doesn't ruin my day. Yeah, enjoy what you want, watch what you want, ignore what you don't like, move on. I'm gonna get my Psycho Slumber preview book. Oh damn it, I forgot to change the address on that, so it's going to Camel. Mel backed it for me while I was streaming, and she didn't have an address to send it, so she sent it to Camel. So now I've got to figure out a way to get it from Camel to me. I might have to pay for him to send it to RJ, which is annoying, but it's gonna have to be done. It should have been Shipping Gate from the start, says Movies. Yeah, that would have made more sense. Exactly. I don't know how much else I really need to flat on this page. There's not, like, I won't know until I start coloring. Maybe these parts, I think. It's going to be interesting coloring another man's art. Because when I color, I always make the art with the colors in mind. But obviously, Rod hasn't done that. He's just doing his thing. So I found some Batman books that I really like the colors on, that I'm going to try and sort of lean the palette towards that palette. It'll still be done in my style, so it'll still look like it's part of the team. But yeah, you know, try it's not a different palette, but slightly different. Try new things. I mean, it is a fighting book. It's almost all fighting, so why not do something a bit different? I could probably, yeah, do the windows. I'll do the windows. Oh, and the wheels, the rims. Maybe the tires too. I don't know. A Grim says you should not take it seriously. People that take it serious just wind themselves up and spurg people on to poke them. I found that. Yeah, I found that to be true. I mean, some people, you know, understandably take it more seriously because it involves them personally, like interpersonal politics. That's what it is. It's like interpersonal politics is really what we're talking about. And, you know, if it involves you personally, I get it. I won't begrudge you for taking that seriously. See, what is that? Is that the tire? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Life is a whole. Dig it, baby. That's Buddha Bear. That's not me saying that. I'm not that cool. Tire. Maybe down here. And all right. I think that's a page flattered. Excellent. On to the next one. When flatting a page, as I always say, big to small. Now, I think I'm going to black these out, actually, these backgrounds. I can always change this later if I... See, here's, again, another difference between Rod and I. If this was me, I would be so OCD to make sure that these lines are perfectly horizontal. Rod's not like that. Rod's more of a feel guy. He just goes with it. So it's nothing is like quite symmetrical or perfect like that. And I'm noticing these things. I'm gonna know a lot about Rod Looper's art by the time I finish coloring this book. I can tell you that. She's Taylor Swift with bigger jugs. Yeah, I guess. Maybe. I do have words. I used to play. I have a little Taylor Swift video. I used to play to Skip when he used to hang around, but he's never around these parts anymore. I see he does his shorts, but I never see him hanging out anymore. What happened to my Taylor Swift video? I used to love playing that. And there it is. That song is like 15 years old or something. I couldn't believe it. Made me feel old. Not ever, never, ever, ever. Mo says the only good part about Skip not being around is Bancroft until today had no excuse to play that video. I used to love doing that. It was a good joke. Mo says Rod's a creative battering ram. Frederick, I'm using Photoshop. I do all of my... When I do the line art, so this isn't my line art, this is Rod Looper's line art, but when I do all of my line art, I do that in Clip Studio Paint, but I still color in Photoshop, which I don't see changing. It's what I do my day job in. I do a lot of color correction and stuff like that, and it's what I know. And yeah, I know a lot of people are leaving Adobe because of the terms of service stuff. I've always thought that a lot of that stuff gets blown out of proportion. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm going to wait until I see some instances of people saying, holy crap, look, Adobe is using my art in something that I didn't give them. They just took it off the cloud or something. Not that I save anything to the cloud anyway, but still. I understand. I like how I can miss months of Bancroft streams because of time zones. Tune in and it's right back to steel. Hell yeah, settles it. I do love a girder. I love a crane. Yes. I did request. They were in the script. I want to see some girders in here. I want to see some crates. And Rod came through. Jim says Rod doesn't seek Vicky's approval. Oh no, nothing is like perfectly aligned in Rod's art. Thank you, Mo, for answering John's question. What the hell even is this? It's a comic book. It will be 32 pages, all in all, when all is said and done. This is page 4 of said book. Set in the Lucent world. It all takes place inside this young lady's mind, which is an unsettling place. A fractured mind, one might say. That was a bit ham-fisted. Shouldn't have said that. That's all right. Yeah, I need to start talking about this more. Eventually we're gonna crowdfund it. God knows it's difficult to get your book out there, people to know what it is and care about it. That's what we're here doing. What the hell even is that? This reminds me of back in the day. We used to hang out with Corey and Clayton and Rob and who else? I can't remember, but he used to do flats as well. And I just remember it was so entertaining because Rob would just go, "Stop doing flats. Just hire someone." And Corey would be like, "No, mate, no. No, I like doing my own flats, hot babes, And it was just fun streams. That was back when we were allowed to be a bit risque on How to Draw Comics channel. We're not allowed anymore. Clean it up over there. Yes, the She Agent Chronicles. See, exactly. That's what I said. I'm going to change the hat camel. I'm not going to do it now, but look, it's going to be a big difference. So if you can imagine, it's going to go from that shape to more of this shape at the top. Sort of like a French schoolgirl. And that'll make all the difference. Actually, that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave that. Maybe take this little bit off here, this little nook. I don't know if I did that. Doing flats is therapeutic. I agree. Tobor. I quite enjoy it because, yeah, it's not like doing line art is super stressful. Doing line art is stressful because you always can just suck. Like you can just be terrible and it doesn't work. Or whatever. It's not dynamic. It's not working. Whatever it is, it's super stressful. Oh, I don't know how to draw this or whatever. And then doing colors, I always know what to do, but it's always a problem-solving thing. It's like, all right, how exactly am I gonna? Because everything is different. Doing flats, just like it's a breeze. You just jump in, go for it. Oh, we got Fopezia over on Rumble Gang. He says, "Yo, I typed that 20 minutes ago and forgot to hit send." Camel says, "Why is there so much IP theft these days?" These characters and their hats, they're just floating around, jumping over buildings in the ether, and they just land on my page. What can I do? He says, "Oh, totally different." Exactly. That's not anything like your character. Look at the rounded top of the hat. You know, clear as day. Now, what part of this is? I guess it's coming in here. And this is kind of this is the one difficult part of flatting. When you're flatting someone else's stuff, you got to figure out exactly what you're looking at, because it might not be. Given that you didn't draw it. Snark says, Rob is faking a bad back, hoping to appeal to Shelby to work for a severely injured man. It could work. I'm probably not. I don't think Shelby expends 1 second of thought in a day on Rob Arnold. I'm just putting it out there. He's busy doing other things. Even when Rob wanted him to work on a book for him, I don't think there was much, Rob Arnold thought going on. Just says, Mike, be the ambassador. Shant is doing okay building bridges in unpopular places, but you are our ambassador. You have a responsibility, dickhead. Jesus. It's too early for me to be called a dickhead, Jasper. It's not even 8 o'clock this morning. Look, the way I am planning on continuing my role as ambassador in the coming year is I'm going to try and find readers outside of the streaming sphere, because I feel like we're kind of tapped out on new readers who are actually interested in reading comics who are hanging out on streams. I think we need to find new people the same way that people found new readers previously, by putting out video content. And that's what I plan on doing. So that's how I'm going to do my thing. And hopefully that'll work out. No promises, but hopefully. And he says, happy 4th, mother. Camel thinks of Rob all day. Oh, that's nice. But I can't really do any of that at the moment. I still am a couple pages away from finalizing the print file on the hardcover for Painted Death. So I have to finish that up this weekend, and then we're into fulfillment. I got sketches to do. It'll be a little while. It'll be at least a month or two, before I can get back into that stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I always did enjoy making regular video content. It's fun. Like you get so many comments and stuff. You meet new people. It's like when you only stream, you just like stuck in this bubble. But it's a lot of work. Bancroft wants us to have an open relationship. When you just stream, everyone's sort of biting each other's audience, stepping all over each other. And don't get me wrong, I love streaming. I love hanging out with the chat. Obviously, I've been doing it now for, how long has it been? 4 years? 4 years. A bit over 4 years. But yeah, to see real growth, you've got to put out content. You must make things. Camel says, I'm going to find new readers by streaming directly after Bancroft and then claiming his audience is my own. Do it. Mo says, biting each other, stepping all over each other. To see real growth, you've got to put out. Did I say that? I swear I don't mean to say it. I don't mean to sound like this. It's not something I do on purpose. It just comes from deep within me, in my heart, in my soul. Even at 7:54 in the morning. Granda says, yeah, it's kind of hard figuring out a time slot to stream that is not used by most other. Yeah, that's it. Like, you can't worry about that. I mean, you're going to stream over people. People are going to stream over you. If you worry about that, you're never going to last. And that's just, unfortunately, the nature of the beast. I mean, I didn't see any other way around that, unless there was, everyone wanted to get together and say, okay, this is your allotted stream time. Especially us, everyone's so independent minded. Everyone wants to do everything their own way, which I completely understand because I'm exactly the same. It's just that was never going to work. It was never going to be a thing. So much, much, much better off to build your own audience and then stream to them. And like, I've done that in bits and pieces here and there over the years. Lots of experiments. Some have worked, some haven't. And I feel like I know what I need to do. I just need to have the time and put in the effort and actually friggin' do it. So that's what I plan to do. Once Fractured Mind is out, a bit more time on my hands. Benjamin Soto in the house, House Chat, and Bancroft. Snark says 4 years and 3 chins ago. What do you mean 3 chins? What are you referring to? I had less chins? More chins? I mean, I know I've put on a little bit of weight, but Jesus. We are not enough for you, Bancroft, Chucks. No, you guys are. That's why I'm here. It's like, I would love to be able to, promote comics to, thousands of people, hundreds of people, just like Ethan is able to. Because why? Because he built his own audience. And you're not going to do that just by, kind of sitting pretty in your own little bubble. You're going to get out there. What do you think the current total max audience number is for this corner of indie comics? 5K more? That is a very good question. That's a very good question. I don't have a good answer just off the top of my head, but yeah, it's not huge, but people can be convinced, and we've seen that with Eric July. We've seen that with Razor Fist and others who are big names already, and then they parlay that into what am I even doing? They parlay that into success with comics. Now that doesn't seem to extend beyond them. So is that then are people? I didn't really think they're interested in indie comics after that. It's more like they were interested in supporting that person. So I'm not really super interested in doing that. I would rather try and build an audience of people who are just interested in the medium. But that is much more difficult, and that's a much smaller audience because that's just how it is. You know. It's indie, it's indie comic books. Comics are already pretty niche. People know about them, but they're not crazy about them. Just I'm talking about general people in general. And then on top of that, a lot of indie books are garbage. So, it's difficult. But then again, when I say that, a lot of Netflix stuff is garbage. A lot of movies are garbage. So it's not like a hindrance, and they seem to get a lot of people watching them. So yeah, I don't have a great answer off the top of my head, but 5K sounds about right. Dal says, I don't think the whole enthusiastic comic book YouTube audience is bigger than 10,000. I see familiar names in Perch videos, Dave Finch drawing streams, casual. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably 100% right. That's why I think there's a lot of value in those who are able to, get out to conventions and into stores and stuff like that. Adam Lawson is having great results in stores. He was told me he sold something like 50,000 Exiled or something in stores, which is crazy, amazing. Then we had that Paul on the other week, who's selling thousands of comics at conventions. And it's like his Kickstarters or whatever, they don't get that many. He gets 100 people backing them, but he sells throughout the year. He sells thousands of comics at conventions. And he's not like a big famous guy. He's just an excellent salesman. So there's people out there. They're just not hanging out on YouTube. At least not strictly for comic content. And plenty of people have good results by getting people in with other sort of content and then selling a comic to them. To me, though, that sort of it starts to wear thin after a while. I just get it has less and less interest for me, even though I see it really does work. Bancroft will be Razorfist, but instead of a motorcycle, it'll be rollerblades. I'll be very happy with that. Like Arcane. What like Arcane? What do you want to talk about Arcane? You want to talk about Arcane? Arcane is coming out soon. Jeff says, yeah, I'm throwing it out there. That's not going to work. You've got to have some sort of crossover audience. Sorry, Jav. I don't know what you're referring to there. Something I probably said, and then the moment has passed. Michael Deecher says, I used to try to develop music equipment for fans on the vintage technology and ever-shrinking market. That's actually really a healthy scene here in Melbourne. We have a lot of hipsters, obviously. But yeah, I don't know how many people we're talking. You could be very right there. Snark says, to me, the appeal of indie comics was they were esoteric. When they get too big, it loses some of its charm and appeal. Yeah, there's definitely a thing to that. I'm like that with streams. I like hanging out with 20 people in a stream. I've always been like that. I think you guys have seen, like, you're much more likely to see me in a stream with 15 people than 2,000. I mean, in the chat. Something about it. YouTube fans seem to support personalities rather than books. Yeah. That's the way it goes. And that's just human nature. I mean, I think that's just anything in general. Like, that's like people go to movies with movie stars in it. Even though the little indie movie, whatever, could be better. I don't know. Not always. Keeping redheads alive, doing my part. Keeping redheads alive in entertainment. Chuck says, building a good audience is key. The Lucent is a great book. It just needs more eyes on it. I think that's the same case for tons of books. Tons of books. People do complain about the quality of the books. I think that's fair enough. Everyone should complain if the books are trash. But there are, ever since I started, and I will get back to it, ever since I started, reading more books and talking about them, I realized there's actually a ton of really good books out there that just, people just aren't aware of and they're not invested in. That's the difference. That's the thing. Like, how to get people invested in a story or a character. That's the hard part. That's the magic that, if I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't tell anyone about it. But, all you can do is just continue. Keep working on your stuff. Keep making it as best as you can, and hope and work and build that audience. And people have done it in the past. There's a cool video out there on YouTube about the people who made, I'm gonna forget the name, but it was some old kind of Elf Quest, I think. They were at it for decades, building it up, just through story alone, just building it up and networking and everything. So it can be done. It's probably like a decade-long thing rather than a few years thing. Sumo says, hipsters, if you show up on a stream with a man bun, I'm out, Bancroft. You think Mel would ever allow me to have a man bun? She would cut it off in my sleep, Sumo. If your natural market is small, you can shift to more expensive boutique items. Try and grow your market space. Neither is easy. Yeah, nothing about making comics is easy, I tell you what. Skibidi Rizzo says, just saw Beverly Hills Cop. Alex, isn't it an Axel? Axel F? F is about right. There's no way I would watch that. I loved Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Loved them. I'm not going to sully that experience by watching whatever rehashed nonsense they're putting out. Elf Quest is awesome. It looked amazing. I'd never heard of it, but it looked great. It was all about, it's everything I love. It was all about this one team's like passion and drive to make super high quality and stay true to the original dream, and it's like everything I'm about, really. I think Rini is into it as well. I think she has the whole thing, or she met the woman and had her copy signed or something like that. It was at Garden State or somewhere. Captain Bipto, what the F is this? Streaming this early. Just trying something new. Getting this in before my day job starts rather than trying to do it in the middle. And it allows me to actually, have some time to do the work rather than when I normally start and then get 10 minutes in and then, all right, that's it, time to go. And plus, less people are streaming at this moment, so it might actually have a chance to get some people in here. How many people we got in here? About 32. Can't complain. We have 5 over on the Rumble gang. I apologize if anyone's been chatting over there and I haven't been looking. Yeah, there's this guy. I can't remember his name. He makes these really high. I'm talking to Planet Turbo here. He makes these high quality, sort of like they're kind of, I don't know, they're quite long, half-hour YouTube videos, super high quality production. He does all this research and everything. He's done them on like Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, and he did one on ElfQuest. I think it's him. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, I think if you just search ElfQuest on YouTube, you'll find it. It's quite new. I think it's probably a few months old, and yeah, it's worth watching. It introduced me to it. It's pretty inspiring stuff. Just goes through the whole history of it and how it came about. Jay Ryan says, I will tell people that I liked the Lucent before it became mainstream and that Ella was a redhead. Yeah, back before she was a black lesbian. Mo says, get up to a certain level of visibility and then start pumping out shorts. Bancroft stopped his shorts and his channel stopped growing. Yeah, exactly right. I just ran out of time during the day. Although the shorts are still going. Like I still get, I don't know, 5,000 views a month from them or something, a whole bunch of subs. I feel bad because I'm not really making them at the moment, and actually it turns out a lot of the people still commenting on the shorts, they're all comic book shorts, the ones they're commenting on, which is encouraging. Do a few more of that stuff. Just focused on comics. And I want to talk about indie comics, art, whatever, and just build that up. So that when it comes time to, can do promotion through shorts, whenever, that sort of stuff. But like I said, you got to have time to do it all. It's not jumping down anymore. Oh, yes, that Matt guy with the 3 T's. That's his name. I'm pretty sure that's him. I'm pretty sure it was his thing. I mean, I could be wrong. It's been a while, but I just remember being really impressed by the whole endeavor. The fact that they did what we're trying to do, so much of us as indie comic book creators, but years ago when there was no, it wasn't easy to do this sort of stuff. And they were going through publishers and everything and trying to self-publish. And I mean, they did have, I think there was probably a healthier convention crowd, but I think they kind of, started a whole bunch of what we just consider as normal kind of indie, creator sort of stuff. So yeah, it was good. It was good. I do like his videos. A lot of people say they're not very accurate. They're not like true history. I don't know. I don't know the stories well enough, but I like that they're well produced. And it's a great love story seeing how Richard Pinney gave up his job to help Wendy's dream of ElfQuest come true. Yeah, I think people really like seeing people invest in themselves. It's just it makes for a great story, and it gives you trust that this person really does believe in what they're doing. Cartoonist kayfabe, maybe comic story and left avoiding comics YouTube, doing a page through of books. But yeah, that's sort of, I've been thinking of that, Jasper. And I never really watched those guys, but I knew what they did. But the thing is, I'm just not terribly interested in like Marvel and DC stuff. I would love to do stuff. And I don't say indie, I don't just mean crowdfunded, I don't just mean CG. I mean that as well, but also I'm seeing tons of cool books coming out from Image, Boom, just whatever's cool. Like I would like to have the time to talk more about that stuff and show it off. I'm not saying I could do what they did because I think they're really super knowledgeable and I don't have that kind of knowledge. But I agree. Yeah, there's a big kind of hole, a void left now. Because that's the one thing, sometimes some of these shorts that I would do showing off some cool stuff, people would say, "Oh, like, what do you recommend?" I'm like, I don't know, my stuff or this guy's stuff. It's like, I would love to have something more on the channel that people could I'll just go check this out. You'll find lots of cool recommends. Because like I said, there's a lot of good stuff being made, but it's so hard to find in amongst everything else. And obviously the big, like people want to complain about the shit. And I get that. And I've done that. But it's not as popular to talk about cool stuff that you enjoyed. Brian says, I could not care less about elf quests, but that damn video about the peonies is pure inspiration. I had the same thing, but I actually do like this, I would read it because they gave it such a high recommendation if I had the time to, but if it was part of the channel, I would make time. Fill that hole with comics. Mike, do a 6-part long-form spotlight on Kraven's Last Hunt. Now, yeah, absolutely. That is something I would do. That's not a bad idea. I've got to... I want to do all this stuff. I seriously do. I want to do this stuff. And then I remember, I've got so much work to do. But then you can sleep when you're dead, That would actually be good. I would like to do talk about the Hobgoblin run that I love as well. Jay says, yeah, at some point you just have to stop complaining about new things. You have to make new things to stop complaining about the bad things. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. The only issue with that is you could make the coolest comic in the world, and if you have no audience, it doesn't matter because no one's going to read it. So you have to find a way to attract that audience with something, with some sort of content. I've certainly fallen into the complaining about things and stuff, or at least laughing at it. Hopefully building an audience through talking about stuff that you find is cool can work. I mean, I've got a From short because I just put out a short saying, "Oh, this From show is really good." It's probably got 1 million views by now. I still get comments every day on it. But I feel bad because like they probably subscribe to the channel thinking I'm going to talk about From when I'm not. It was just a thing I did. Hello, Mr. Eric Weathers. How are you, my sir? How are you, my sir? That's not a thing to say. How are you, my friend? I was going to say, how are you, sir? And then I said, how are you, my sir? Finding an audience is the hardest part. Hell yeah. Yeah. It absolutely is. Everyone's saying hello to Eric Weathers. Laugh if you will, but Rob's ghost hunt idea could have brought in the adjacent witchcraft audience. I was down. I was ready. I was ready to see Rob mocked into oblivion when we didn't find any ghosts, but it all fell through. Well, plus the place that we really wanted to go, they tore it down. So what are you gonna do? Bancroft's first video to blow up was about the Thundercats. Very true. Yes. Very true. And that's when I learned the first lesson where it's like, oh, you do videos about certain content, and then people think that's what you're really interested in. And I had so many requests like, do this Thundercat thing, this Thundercat thing. I really captured the Thundercats crowd. And it didn't really serve any kind of purpose. So I think I kind of do need to focus on indie comics so that, when people do find the channel, and if something were to blow up, like my Frank Miller, I tell you, this Frank Miller short I did every day, 5 comments every day without fail, at least. And I just did a Frank. And it wasn't negative, it wasn't positive. It was just, oh, check out these Frank Miller art. A lot of people are saying this is weird and cool. Other people are saying I really dig it. What do you guys think? It was really no more than that. And yeah, latest comment 13 minutes ago. Hang on. And how many views it's got? Oh, it's not going to show me. 115,000. Like, you get, like, that's great. And you can actually, I'm sure the people who subbed to the channel because of that short are actually interested in comic books. So yeah, I want to do more stuff like that. Less Thundercats. Bancroft found the audience he did want. Fans would heckle him constantly. I do like that. It fits in with the Australian way. It's fun. What am I doing? I'm gonna remember how this outfit actually works. Remember, this is how Ella kind of sees herself in her dreams. It's sort of a vision of herself. So says things about her, I think. Jasper says, I met Frank Miller and Klaus Janson last month. Wow. Personal highlight. That's pretty epic. I think they were talking about Klaus on the Ink Pulp, meeting him recently. That was cool. Bancroft will find his audience in Dandy Mans. Mo's got to head out. Al Mo, thanks so much for hanging out, man. Mo is gone. Now we can talk weeb. Well, I don't know. He might not be gone yet. Might just be saying goodbyes. So give it a few minutes. We can talk Star Trek, that's for sure. Does Ella see herself with larger breasts in her dreams? Like, I think the thing is, I've only ever really drawn her with a lot of clothing. I think she has pretty decent boobage in her top, in her t-shirt. Let me find one. I don't know. I think that's pretty accurate. You know, there's boobs, but all the rest of the time she's in, you know, jackets and stuff like that, so you wouldn't really see them. I'm not saying they're tangalangs or anything. I'm not saying they're wangos. Alrighty. Yeah, I think it's going to look better with a kind of a rounded hat. I think it's going to look more distinct. Hopefully. They're not boobs without nipples, says Alex. I beg to differ. Have you never seen a Barbie? They're boob-ish. They're boob-esque. Gotta figure out what needs to be here and what doesn't. Yeah, probably there. All right, that'll do. She's doing all right, says Jay. Yeah, she's, you know, the thing about Ella is she's supposed to be just a regular-ish woman. I mean, I like her. She's drawn attractive, but that's just like a, you know, everyone likes to. It's a character thing. Everyone likes to see an attractive people in their stories. But it's not like she's like this bombshell. She's a chick. Girl next door. No Uggos. Yeah, well, no Uggos, obviously. Obviously. You know, no, none of that. I don't know if you guys saw that thing that I think someone, Grums, shared it, where they were like showing how to not objectify women in comics. Nothing like that. But not every character has to look like that chick who's the babe of the week at the moment on the hardline. How dare you? She's adorable. I agree. I mean, I try not. I don't like to think about her like that, which is why I don't like to do the not safe for work stuff. It's just like that's weird to me as the person who sort of created her. I don't know. That's weird to me. So I don't really get into that. You guys have at it, but I have to keep a professional distance. But can she cook though? Yes, she does cook. She cooks for her grandfather. She looks after him. So yes. I mean, she's English. So what does that really mean? as far as cooking, I'll leave that up to you. But yes, she can cook. All right, what am I going to do here on the inside? Let's start with blue. Always start with blue. You mean Admiral Panty Sniffer? No. Arthur Forsyth, her grandfather. Jay says, wait, so I can draw Lucent erotica in my spare time? Yes, I do give you the okay, because that'll probably get 1,000 times more views than my art ever will. And people will be like, oh, who is this character? I want to see more. And they're like, oh, go check out the Lucent.com. You know, that's why people do that stuff. It gets eyeballs on their characters. They draw them having sex. Now, I'm not going to do that. But if you want to do that, have at it. It won't be canon. If you want to make a story, you know, the Lucent Wet Dreams or something like that. You know, it won't be canon. But she did actually allude to that in Waking Dream. If you remember, Amita asks her, what are these dreams you're having? I hope they're like naughty ones. And Ella says, you know, maybe a couple. So there's definitely, you know, I've opened the door to that, even if I'm not going to step through it. That title came to you quickly, Bancroft says. Sorry. Well, it sort of wrote itself, you know. That's the thing. If you build a rich living world full of realistic characters, you know, these things, they just sort of come by themselves. And you don't have to do much. You just sort of sit back and watch, like a voyeur, so to speak. That's the rare beauty of you know, writing, and especially when you've spent so much time working on one universe. These things, they get a life of their own. I love all this debris. So one thing I said, Rod, here's what I need. I need someone who can draw action. I need someone who can draw sexy ladies. And I need someone who can really put a lot of effort into the backgrounds, because that's sort of what people know about the Lucent. And he ticked all the boxes and he said, I got you, bro. And he didn't disappoint. Snark, that is gross. I will not read that out about Flipper Jimmy. He's like a big brother to her. And he's in love with Amita. And he's a loyal man. Besides, she has a dream boyfriend already. Bancroft needs action rod. I do. So I came to him. I said, I've seen what you can do on other books. And I want some of that for myself. Oh my God. Moromi. I'm not reading that out either. I'm interested actually to see, you know, at the end of Painted Death, you know, I have a to be continued in, and then there's the title of the next book. I'm interested to see what people think of the title of the third book and any theories about what they think it might allude to. You know, every Lucent book, the title, the subtitle follows the same syllable pattern. 1, 2, 3. Some sort of, I like that it's restrictive. It means I can't go too crazy with the title. Alex says, what happens in the Lucent stays in the Lucent. It's like Vegas. So here's Ella peering down through this window. And she stumbled across a dog fight, which she's not a fan of. She doesn't appreciate it. She doesn't like it. She's not down with the dog fight. And given that she's in her action-packed dream self, she's going to do something about it. Just this slight woman in a Carmen Sandiego hat and a cape for some reason, because it looks cool. She's going to jump in and have her say. The Lucent 3 is banged till sleep. I'm still undecided on that scene. It wouldn't be a scene per se. It would be maybe a panel. I'd have a panel, probably silhouetted, of the act. I don't know. I'm undecided. It's one of those things where it's not integral to the story, but it does matter. Because it is a romance story. There is romance in the Lucent. There's, you know, that's part of. It's actually, it plays that plays a big part in the, you know, what happens in the story. But whether or not they get it on, I don't know. I'm going to talk it through with Joe. So does Rod give Ella action on? Rod gives Ella a lot of panty shots. She's very free in Rod's Ella is very free, open. She's not shy about herself and her body, which is good. I really like that. It actually ended up working out really well because she is the exact opposite in real life, which is a little bit of a hint to when I say fractured mind. You know, she is not the same person in the dream as she is in real life. Yet. If you go out drinking, never order the hot Cosby. That's good advice. That is good advice. The Lucent hot Cosby. No. It's not like that. Rod is all up in those. He really, I mean, there's even a boob grab at one point. You know, he doesn't shy away. He does things I wouldn't do. I wouldn't have done, that's why you hire an artist. Plus, you know, he was able to do all this while I was working on Painted Death, so there's that too. All right. Debris encircled. I think I'm going to make it this color. And engage. Cool. Cool. I'll just this table. We do it the same color as well. Alex VOB has a brilliant idea for a lenticular card. All right, let me look. So if you make it a single panel, make it lenticular so we can see the thrust action. I gotta see what he's talking about. All right, I see. Yeah, what the panel I'm referring to. Right. Yeah. So you're like, that might be a little bit on the nose, Alex. I'm thinking of something kind of tasteful and romantic, not so much wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You know. Testicular lenticular. It won't be that. Here's an idea, man. It's not on the nose. It's like the nose that has a tip. And don't ever make those noises. What noise did I make? That one. Mel just texted me that we got a shipment of books. These are the. I just had some more of these printed. Because we sold some. And she's like, she's not even wearing, because it's early. It's not even 9 o'clock. She's not even wearing pants yet, so she's thanking me for that. You're welcome, Mel. You're welcome. Mostly so, yeah. Always make noises on the stream, mostly so we can clip them. What am I doing? What am I doing? I got distracted. Yes, the people. The people. So yeah, Ellie gets into a fight with these people. She considers them a bad sort. Which begs the question, why is she dreaming about a dogfight so that she can beat people up, you know? What's the psychology there? And that goes to a lot of what this book is about. We already saw a little bit of it in Waking Dream with the kind of two thugs in Paris that she beats up as well. She has a thing. The people? Are you stealing Diaz material now? No, just people. She's got anger issues. Perhaps a dashing man could help her work those issues out. See, Alex knows. Alex knows. A mysterious, enigmatic man could appear and point out to her and show her, even not even point out to her, show her. A bit like, to bring this back to Star Trek, a bit like Q showing Picard things that he might not be ready to see yet or tackle yet. I didn't realize I was so influenced by the Next Generation. I don't need your fantasy women. Star Trek sucks. You outrageous. So at least you share a an opinion there with Mo. Something you can agree on, come together with. When I said to Rod, I want these kind of, these are sort of like skeevy, the kind of guys who would go to a dogfight in a abandoned warehouse late at night. And he drew these. And Rod's from Brazil, I don't know, like I guess they have a different kind of people over there. He drew some interesting characters. And again, nothing I would have thought about, but the two people I insisted on, I specifically detailed them out how I wanted them to look. I wanted one to be kind of big and gross. And then I wanted the other one to be my version of Bricktop from Snatch. He had to be like that. They were the only two stipulations. The other people, he's got someone with a weird long beanie and everything. It was like, Rod, do your thing. Surprised me. But I love the Bricktop character. I think that's him there. I mean, it doesn't really look like him at the moment. What's this guy holding? It's like a wine bottle. Do dogs normally fight in a ring like this? I think more like a cage. I might have to add in some little cage like or a pit, They would normally fight in a pit. I don't mind them being in a ring, but I might need to add in some like extra things. Otherwise they might just run out. Looks like an 80s brick cell phone. Well, again, it's all a dream, so it can be whatever the hell, you can say, oh, don't worry about it. It's just all a dream. Yes, dogs always fight in rings. They jump off the ropes and everything. They do backflips off the top rope. Suma says, I've never seen it, but where does Farscape land on this sci-fi list? In terms of Babylon 5, better than Deep Space Nine for sure. Next Generation is also very good. I love Next Generation. I've never seen Farscape either. They perform suplexes on the other dogs. Well, so you put this down to Ella doesn't really know what, dogfighting is. So it's fine. That's her idea of dogfighting. She just knows she doesn't like the idea of it. It's like the perfect get out of jail free card. All right. Just make them that color for the moment. I'm not going to touch them until I start doing the coloring and I figure out what I want to do there. Do the doggos as well. He did draw some excellent ferocious dogs. I'll give him that. I sent him a couple of reference pics and I said, they got to look like this. Because they do get let loose at some point in the story and they have to look kind of menacing. Well, have to be menacing. Ferocious, they're adorable puppers. They do kind of look kind of cute there. But trust me, they're deadly killing machines. Don't you forget it. They use the red rocket submission is a killer. Cranberry Lang is in the house. Hello, Bancroft. Happy 4th of July to you, sir. I'll play that track I played at the start when I get out of here in about 10 minutes, just for everyone who wasn't here at the start. Celebrate your independence with you. And what do I want to do with that? Is that darker? I'm not sure. Nope. I'll just make it darker. The red rocket submission is technically a choke. Ugh. Yeah, let's not dive too deeply into that. Oh, it goes all the way up here too. Mm. Red Rocket Deep Dive. It's a fantastic documentary on the world of dogfighting. Skibidi Rizza says, I abhor dogfighting. Well, there you go. So does Ella. She's jumping around. She's like, why is there light coming from this abandoned warehouse? She looks in and this is what she sees. She sees a group of men gambling and cheering on criminal dogfighting. And she's not, look at this, she's not having a bar of it. She's like, I'm going to put a stop to this. Put a stop to this nonsense right now. She's coming into Karen the Mall. I like her face that you did there, Bancroft. Which one? This one? This was actually an amalgam of... So this is Rod Looper's art, but I did actually work on this face because this is one of the first faces he did of her, and it wasn't quite right. He put too much detail in there, and I just sort of took some of it out and simplified it. Make her a bit more Ella-ish. So yeah, this is a Rod Looper on the art. I'll be doing the colors. I'll be bringing it to life. Too much detail? That's no, yeah, look, you can have too much detail on a woman's face. That's just how it is. That's comics. Anyone who's ever drawn a comic knows that. You can have too much detail on a woman's face. It just ages her. That was the thing. She looked a little old for the character. In later pages, man, he nails her face just perfect. He really captures like the woman I see in my head. The kind of the essence of it. So I can't wait to kind of show you guys that. But this was one of the first pages where he actually drew her face properly close up. The other ones is like a bit further away, so it doesn't really matter. You leave it up to the imagination. Alex says it gives a character. Yeah, if older is a character. We got Mr. Reese in the house. He says, "Hail chat, hail back at you." Can we still get the Lucent card? Well, if you backed the campaign of Painted Death, you're getting a Lucent card. Who looks closest to Ella in real life, Bancroft? No, I found women occasionally that sort of resemble her. Not really actresses though. People have said that redheaded chick in Jumanji, I guess probably just because she's a redhead. But I think she looks very much like her at all. I don't know. I mean, she has a pretty sort of standard face. There's not too much unusual about it. She has striking red hair that doesn't really exist in real life, but we get that artistic license. Karen Gillian, yeah, that's the one. Maybe a young Emily Blunt. Like not Emily Blunt now, but Emily Blunt 20 years ago or more. Maybe. Might be probably the closest. I do remember, I vaguely remember I had some celebrities, some singers, just some random people I found on Pinterest kind of pulled into my reference folder. And Emily Blunt was in there, so that's probably a reason. Emily is all eyebrows. Is she? I don't know if I've ever noticed that. Like, when was The Devil Wears Prada? That's got to be, 2006. So, that would have been filmed in probably 2004. Devil. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty. That's pretty close in terms of. I mean, it's not exact. I'll pull that up. Where is it? It's not exact, but it's pretty close. Yeah, she had red hair in that film too. I didn't base her off that at all. I noticed that, it looks like her. But even then, she might be a bit older. I don't know how old she was there. Ella is 20. I think the actress that played Sansa Stark might be a good Ella. I don't know about that, Sumo. I don't see it. It might. I don't know. Like, I think you could just give anyone red hair. It doesn't have to necessarily be a redhead. and it would work to a degree. It is fun thinking this stuff though, like, you know, daydreaming. Oh, if there was a movie, who would play this? And then, you know, the daydream goes on 5 years, 10 years. Then you're like, oh, I guess I need a new crop now. They're all aged out. That's what happens in movies as well, you know. Films get stuck in production limbo for years, and then they have to find new actors. Let's be real. Bancroft would insist on playing Ella himself. He's the only one that truly understands the character. Nobody asked you, Bancroft. Says Sumo. Reference folder is a polite speech for spank. No. No, I got a whole bunch of I called it London women, and I was just searching for fashionable women in London, just looking for ideas on clothes and stuff, because, you know, I'm such a fashionista. I know all this stuff inherently. And no, I was just actually looking through it earlier. I haven't looked at it in a while. I was like, oh, it is. That's what I based that look on. Like, you know, you can see it. That's what I based that outfit on. You know, that outfit that I ended up drawing friggin' 100 times. All right. I think that's another page mostly done. Done enough anyway. Close enough is good enough. Like the women Jack Ripper killed. Exactly. Exactly. No, my answer is not. Sweeney came very late in the game, and Sweeney is not Ella at all. That's a completely different person. All right, we got 2 pages in. I actually have another page. That's the one that I started coloring, but I gotta figure this one out. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but that's one I just started coloring because I wanted to have something to show off. All right, everyone. I have to get ready to go to work. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go back and show this. I hope you have all signed up to the mailing list. This is going to be me from now on, telling you to go sign up to the mailing list. Go grab your copy that it will be printed and in my house, ready to ship, of all these books very soon. Exciting times. Get a t-shirt, however many are left. I got to figure that out. All that good stuff. Camel is booty texting you, sir. Is that me? No, I think that's my emails. I'm getting emails. So, you know, it's that time of the morning. The day is starting. It's 9 o'clock here, so have a fantastic 4th of July, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, whatever you do. What do you guys do? You shoot fireworks and drink beer and, you know, all that sort of good stuff. I'll leave you with a few videos and have a great night. You know, I'm going to go out with this one because we've drawn rod all night.
Hey, what is that? It's an inanimate carbon rod!
Yeah.
Oh, they were just about to show some close-ups of the rod.
America, America.
Fuck yeah! Come out again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America! Fuck yeah!
Freedom is the only way, yeah.
Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America! Fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck on my balls, America! Fuck yeah!
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.